there's a machine here that makes 200,000 bricks a day, they still make the old-fashioned handmade ones. This case has quite a few witnesses, many going by street names. Today, the prosecuting attorney and the defense both said that the murder happened at a crack house here in Martinsburg. Experts recommend if you're getting tired, come down from the tree stand and take a break. Lynn, the voting units were shipped out today in Washington County, and many election officials are setting up right now. Forrest was still inside the van in the chat room when sheriff's deputies came up to his door. What they didn't expect is a makeshift bed in the back along with a digital camera. It's rather quiet here now, and this afternoon it's been business as usual. All 50-some affected students have been treated and released, all after a frightening ordeal.
He said, Mommy, he said, me and Brett was sitting in the back of the bus, and he said it started to get real hot back there. He said, so we told the bus driver it was hot.
About a mile from T.A. Lowry Elementary School, students warned their bus driver, Billy Joe Elliott, of smoke. She immediately reacted, evacuating the children.
My last student had planted both his feet on the ground and was around the front of the bus when the flames started coming out of the engine compartment.
The bus, which was about 10 years old, an average age among the fleet, recently passed inspection. The driver even did the usual once-over to make sure everything looked fine before leaving the parking lot.
In our lot here, you can just see, in our parking lot, you don't even see oil leaks here. If we have a bus that has a potential of a leak of any type, that bus is pulled out of service.
Meanwhile, word of the fire spread quickly.
Some parents heard it over the radio or scanners and came here to the school directly or tried to contact either at my office or the school here, and they were notified of what to do from there.
Ironically, Elliott had told the students they'd be doing an evacuation drill, but she had no idea it would be the real deal.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, and I didn't want to be a part of it, and I didn't want them to be a part of it.
Now, classes did go on as scheduled, and again, all affected students have been treated and released. Peter and Diana, I'm at I-81 and Halfway Boulevard, where this plaque was dedicated earlier today. It's to remind us of the men who paid the ultimate price fighting for our freedom. Six years have passed since terrorists attacked USS Cole off the coast of Yemen, killing 17 sailors. Two of the youngest victims, Fireman Patrick Roy and Seaman Craig Wibberley, were from Washington County. Each autumn, as memorial ceremonies are held, leaves fall, as do tears.
Every year on 9/11, they say this is the day that changed America. And October 12th, 11 months previously, should have been the day that changed America.
The commander of the ship attended the ceremonies, and during an emotional ritual, survivors of the attack paid their respects to their comrades. Veterans of foreign wars organized these memorials, and while they remember the fallen heroes, they recognize the brave servicemen and women who survived.
One thing about if you're in the Navy, when you're attacked and you're at sea, you have no choice but to survive. And there were a bunch of survivors on the USS Cole. That's how come the ship stayed afloat.
The day wrapped up with a permanent memorial. Senator Don Munson and Secretary of Transportation Robert Flanagan dedicated the I-81 bridge with assistance from the men's families. Senator Munson chose this bridge to forever recognize the sailors that lost their lives on the USS Cole. It's especially important to the Wibberley family because Tom's company built this bridge.
When people cross that bridge, they will, can think about him. Both the sailors, Craig and Patrick, and the sacrifice they gave.
And many of the sailors at today's ceremonies were from the Naval Medical Center in Bethesda. By the way, I talked to the commanding officer of the USS Cole. He told me he wanted to thank the people at the VFW for planning today's ceremonies. Live in Hagerstown, Angela Bohon, NBC 25 News.
As soon as you get violence, you tend to get the ghosts and the stories of ghosts.
Hear some things, and you definitely feel some eerie feelings, like it's not everybody hasn't left yet. So the Maryland Theater is very haunted.
It's not just the theater. Almost everywhere you turn downtown, there's a ghost story. At the Miller House, it's the young mother who died inside the home.
People have seen her on the stairs. She moves the china. She rearranges the china at times.
This news of paranormal activity comes as no surprise to locals.
It is an old, quaint town, and I'm sure that they're probably hanging out here, and from the looks of some of these buildings, this is preferred real estate.
It's also the site of a Civil War skirmish. An artist sketching images of the fight was shot in the head atop one of these buildings. And you can bet the murder leaves behind a horrifying tale.
The story is that there's a pool of blood that doesn't dry, and it's been there ever since.
If the ghost is listening now, I respect your space, man. We're good.
All jokes aside,
Hagerstown can be pretty spooky.
I'm not afraid of ghosts, but I do have a ghost in my shop. And he comes and sees me, and when I'm alone, he does come and touches me on my shoulder, and I turn around and he's gone.
These downtown alleys are original. They're old. You know, people fighting in the alleys, fighting in the street.
So the next time you're walking down an alley, keep in mind you could be the next one to see a ghost. In Hagerstown, Angela Bohon, NBC 25 News.